Hi, welcome to our channel. Today, I will demonstrate how to use SCP to transfer files from Windows to Linux and Linux to Windows. Let's begin. So we have here a diagram. On the left is a Windows laptop. On the right is a Linux server. Well, our goal is to transfer files from our Windows computer to the Linux server. And also from the Windows laptop, we will try to get a file inside the Linux server. As for the requirements, number 1, in our Windows laptop, we should have an OpenSSH client running, and it should be able to reach the Linux server. And number 2, for our Linux server, it should also need its OpenSSH server to be running. So let's see the steps on how to do this. Step number 1, let's check if Windows can reach our Linux server via ping and our Linux server to our Windows desktop. To make things simple, I already set my Windows to ping the Linux server continuously just to demonstrate that it can reach the server, and I gave it an IP of 10.1.1.10. Now let's go to our Linux server. As you can see, it can also ping the Windows client or the Windows laptop. Its IP is 10.1.1.20. For step number 2, let's check Windows OpenSSH client. Let's go to Settings, Apps, and then let's click Manage Optional Features. And there you have it. OpenSSH client is enabled. Now let's go to step number 3. Let's go to our Linux server. In our Linux server, type the following commands to see if the SSH service is running. As you can see, OpenSSH server is running. Now let's go to step number 4. Let's prepare test files. Let's go to our Windows computer. Here, I already prepared a file, and I named it aaa.txt. Here it is. I placed it on the desktop, and I also opened it for you to see what I have typed inside it. The content is I can do this. Now let's go to our Linux server. Here, we need to create a file inside home noc files directory. Actually, I already prepared it. Let's try to see it. And inside it, something is written. Don't forget me. Okay, so now that we have verified that there are already test files from both our Windows and Linux computers, let's go back to the Windows computer. We will now try to transfer files from Windows to Linux. Let's open our CMD. In the yellow pad, I have already written the command that we'll be using. It is SCP, and then the file name, the username of the Linux server, and here the IP address of the Linux server, colon, going to the path where we want to place our aaa.txt. So let's try it. Since our file is on the desktop, let's go to the desktop. Let's verify if AAA can be accessed through the CMD. There you have it. Let's clear the screen and let's start the command. So here's the command. SCP AAA.txt. It is the file that we will be sending to the Linux server. And then the username that we will be using in the Linux server at the IP address of the Linux server. And here is the path going to the folder where we want AAA.txt will be transferred. For the file path, home knock files, we can verify this by going to the Linux server and typing pwd. Here, we can see that indeed home knock files directory exists. And now, from the Windows computer, we will place the file aaa.txt here. Okay, so let's go back to the Windows computer and execute the files that we placed on CMD. Let's type the password. Based on the output, the transfer was successful. Let's verify it by going to the Linux server. Let's type ls. And there you have it. aaa.txt was transferred here. Let's try to read what it says. I can do this. Let's go back to our Windows computer. Let's go to step number 7. That is to transfer files from Linux to Windows. Here, we will also execute the command on the Windows computer. But we will copy a file from the Linux server using SCP. So to do that, I also placed the command on the yellow pad. It is SCP username and the server of the Linux server and the IP of the Linux server, and then the path where bbb.txt is located. And please don't forget the dot. It means to copy the file from this location going here, which is our Windows desktop. Okay, let's try it. Okay. It is SCP knock at 10.1.1.20 :/home/knock /files/bbb.txt space and then a dot. Let's try to execute it. And based from the output, it's successful. Let's verify it. There it is. We copied bbb.txt from Linux server. And it says, "Don't forget me." That's all. Thank you for watching.